the interesting thing is that, lots of people talk about sports psychology and all, and I don't want to go very deep into it, but there's two basic frames of mind that you have when you play a big game. One is called the competitive frame of mind, the other is called the threat frame of mind. So when you're in the competitive frame of mind, the challenge actually is, it's sort of a challenge or competitive frame of mind. You're up for the big game, you start breathing deeper, you get more stuff in. The threat fear of mind, you sort of start shrinking, okay? And somewhere, somebody needs to just sit with this team and say, they look more scared, and the senior players, let's leave, you can't expect 2-game, 5-game, 10-game players to come up. The two most senior players on this 11 today were basically Ross Taylor and Tim Southee. And they did not give the leadership that the rest of the New Zealanders required. And I think they were more scared of losing than they wanted to win.
It's interesting. Let's ask the three of us. 163, did we think we could win? If we didn't know the result of the previous two games, we would have thought tough. I always thought 163 was defendable, except after the 34 run over. You cannot lose from there. I mean, it's a 164 run chase. You've got 34 in 1 over. Just as we did the calculation, taking out Bumrah. Now take out that 1 over. You got 34 in that over. What have you got left? 130 in 19.
Yeah, it's 6 point something.
Yeah.
And when we were watching it together, after the 34 run over, then came a Chahal over where he hit a 6. And then we said, with almost a runner ball to get, without those two previous games there, we would normally have said, that's it, this one's gone for India. Okay, New Zealand's won this. But on this occasion, we said, hang on, they haven't. Only because of our memories of a couple of days ago. Have a look at that. When Seifert got out, 116 for 3 before that delivery, 48 of 45 needed, Seifert going well, Taylor going well, both one past a 50, one close to a 50, it looked done and dusted.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have two set batsmen. That's my biggest problem, that if they had lost their key batsman early, they haven't. These two guys have come back, they've made it, they've got the partnership, they've done all the hard work. That's when they let it go. And that is somewhere which you turn around and say, that's not just luck. Coincidence, happenstance is one time. Second time, third time, it can't be coincidence.
It also tells you why Dhoni or Kohli are such good players, because they win you chases from this position. And you watch Dhoni over the years, you're watching Kohli now, and you think, you're supposed to win from that position, right? But not everyone does. And the fact that New Zealand couldn't tells you just how good Dhoni and Kohli were Dhoni in his prime and Kohli now in pulling those games out, because not everyone can.
Yeah, Ross Taylor, as you said, I mean, full respect to him. T20 international number 100 for him. Family watching, played really well. But it's one thing, it's two parts to a cricketing innings when you're chasing. It's one to put the runs on the board, and the other, once the finish line is there, to say, boys, come with me, I'm taking you till the end. And that's what he did. I mean, we talked about Shreyas Iyer.
What did show us? 21, you thought it's finished?
Yeah.
It came down to 9 from 2. It came down to 2 boundaries of the last 2 balls, which is what Rohit Sharma did to win India the first super over. So the reason Dhoni used to take the game late was because you never know how teams react under pressure. And he got out in the 18th over. He got out with 17 balls left. So, I mean, you're looking at someone who's top scored, hasn't he? Made 53, he's top scored, and yet you're thinking he was the one who didn't take them home. That's part of the responsibility of being the senior most top.
Right, were you telling us a story the other day about Lakshmi Ratan Shukla?
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, this is about game chota karna. Take it close, take it close, take it close. Then you can have 220 runs over. 40 in 2 is possible, 35 in 3 is possible. Take it to that level. See the other thing. And again, this is another Sourav Ganguly story. Sourav Ganguly in the KKR nets, the first day he came, he said, I have no problems if you get out for 0 in the first ball. Because the format of T20 is such that you try and go early, you nick it, something happens. But once you've played that 10 balls, 12 balls, 15 balls and you're set, remember in any team, in a T20 match, because of the paucity of balls, only 1, 2, or maximum 3 batsmen will get set. Nobody else will have the time. Yeah. If these 3 don't make it count, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Seifert didn't make it count, Taylor didn't make it count. And that was the story.